So, with respect to India, like you spoke about logistics space, it's one of the most exciting ones at this point in time. Which are the three top sectors that you feel have the potential to see extra growth?
Of course, logistics is one. You're right. I think logistics, not just in the e-commerce space, but overall Indian logistics has to get better. We are keenly looking at that space. We've invested some. We're going to continue to invest more. But we've been focused quite heavily on fintech over the last 3 years in the current fund. And we made nearly 8 bets in fintech over the last 3 years, and we'll continue to look at fintech. We have primarily invested in technologies that enable the financial services industry rather than on the lending side. We continue to look at the lending side, but we primarily focused on technology companies in financial services. I think it's a massive market in India, and the ceiling is quite high. A number of problems that need to be addressed at a mass scale. Only technology can bring about the change in India. So fintech is something that we're quite excited about. And the third one, if I had to pick, digital content. I think we have massive amount of connected users now,
Right.
and of course something close to home for you guys. I think content, especially on the digital side, is going to be the first thing that Indians are going to get exposed to before they transact. I think they're going to start reading and seeing things digitally.
With respect to the competition coming in from global companies, there are Indian startups that feel very crushed, and that is something that cannot be ignored. As investors, how do you think that this problem can be resolved? Is this a regulatory resolution that is merited, or hand-holding by the investors, or do you think that the entrepreneurs should up their ante and bring products and services that are competent enough to compete with global counterparts?
Yeah, I think we are a democratic country, and we also believe in capitalism and free markets. I think we should continue to believe in that. I don't think we need to shut down our borders to an extent the way China has been able to do, and it did help local ecosystem.
Sure.
But we are different from China. It's okay for the competition to come in, and I think you're going to build better products and services when you have competition from external competition, right? And the most evolved companies and most competitive companies are going to come to India. When they come from US or Europe, doesn't really matter. It's okay to take on the competition. I think Indian entrepreneurs are smart enough. More important than our smarts being able to build differentiated and better products, I think the Indian market has to deepen. And once Indian market deepens, I think a local entrepreneur will always out execute some senior executive who is running Indian operations for a US company. I believe the entrepreneurs will be more nimble, and they better understand the Indian market. They can always out execute foreign companies, because that's going to be run by professionals, not by a passionate entrepreneur. So I don't think we should be afraid of foreign competition. I think competition is welcome. We need to be better and understand India better than they do, and we have entrepreneurs running our companies, not professionals.
Takeovers. Today we're talking about Indian entrepreneurs building beautiful companies that have the potential of giving good returns that would translate into M&As, and at the same time there is fair criticism that the spirit of Indian entrepreneurship will be dead if every company is designed to be sold and made margins on. Now, as much as you're an investor, I know that the investor view is a yes for an M&A for a prospective return. But with respect to the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem, what do you think is the fair way ahead? Is there a silver lining that we see here?
See, you're absolutely right. I think I'm going to be more biased towards liquidity events,
Right.
and M&A market is not deep enough in India. Let's get to a point where it's deep enough, and then let's figure out whether a company should be an independent company or get acquired or merged with another company, right? Today we are far away from that inflection point. I think market has to mature a lot, and M&A markets have to get deeper, because money coming in is not not the only thing. Money needs to go out, and recycling capital is very, very important. Otherwise, we're going to get stagnant. Just like companies get stagnant when there is no recycling and new ideas and new flows, India is going to get stagnant. So we need that recycling of money. But having said that, I think companies, whether today in India or tomorrow in India, will know when they need to be acquired or when they can be independent. I mean, it's an unwritten rule how that happens. Either you acquire somebody, either you eat your competition, or you get eaten. Right? So it's a natural way. The way it happens in the wild world and West, it'll happen in India. It'll be very, very natural. You don't plan for these things. If you're not ahead, and if you just don't take the lead and run with it, you will be acquired by somebody else. So it's a question of that thing cannot be planned. You will know intuitively that will happen.